Oh, well, hello. It is Tis. Good day. Good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. So, at this point, it is safe to say that everything must go. And with that being said, is everything must go as far as, I guess it's everything in the world, but when it comes to America, America must go. Like as far as these city, states, towns that you know of, and you know how they'll say with the North Carolina, oh, my sundown town is gone. Well, guess what? There's much more where that come from, because North Carolina's not the only sundown town. Georgia's not the only racist state. Uh, New York, basically all of those coastal states, they played a huge role in slavery and basically the start of our demise. And we'll always reference the South. Oh, watch out for the South. Watch out for the South. Now, what about New York? What about Illinois? You see what I'm saying? Those are the stuff that they keep quiet. And I grew up north. And I grew up in Illinois, and never in my life have I knew for a fact that it was a sundown town. But, I got the sundown treatment, but it was never told from the mountain that, hey, this is a sun. You see what I'm saying? They keep stuff like that. They protect stuff like that. So the reason why America really is the world, because this is a worldwide judgment. Because if we start in America, it's going to spill abroad anyway. Judgment is coming because the countries, the people, basically the energy, it protects sorcery. If you're protecting sorcery, or if you want to keep sorcery alive, all while pretending, oh, today's a new day, racism doesn't exist, then you better believe you're on that hit list. California is on the hit list, and I am in California, but it's definitely on the hit list because the sorcery. I think sorcery is at an all-time high, and then with that comes with everything else under the sun, because anything goes when you're using sorcery. You can make things happen. You can do strange activity, and all of this stuff has happened. All of the above has happened under sorcery, and basically no one's innocent. So if you look around with people crying and stuff and dying horribly, it's honestly, everything is a connection. It is. And you'll think like, well, if 1 million people died, well, 1 million people had died because 1 million people had died already. You see what I'm saying? Some people died unjustly. Some people died for a reason. You see what I'm saying? There needs to be justice. So that means if millions and billions of people are dying and being murdered in the past, I'm not talking about now, the people that are dying now, this is called judgment. It's justice. You see what I'm saying? Perhaps I was buried 200-300 years ago, and now you gotta pay for it. You see what I'm saying? Oh, what? I didn't own any slaves. But guess what? You benefited from it. You protected it. You participated in it. That's why a lot of, and I don't want to say all Negroes, a lot of Negroes are going to go down too just because of that. Because we're in trouble now because of a Negro. You see what I'm saying? Hell, it's probably a nigger that started slavery. And you thought it was you thought it was the pink Democrats. No. You just never know the role that people play. And that's why I say when people reach their demise, it's all a part of a master plan. And we can say, well, it's the scientists that are causing these storms, or it's an inside job, or I was set up. It doesn't matter whichever way it goes. It's justice is justice. Because again, I can go to set you up. Oh hell, I'm going to push you down the stairs, but I end up falling. You see how it's saying? It always works out. Trust me. Justice, karma, and balance, it has a very interesting way of working itself out. And normally, I do get to witness the balance, And that's not to toot my own horn. It's just that I know how to get out the way, So, pretty much when these disasters come through, it's basically coming to tear all this shit up. And also it said that, the San Francisco Bay Bridge is on the menu. You know how I remember how it was a time where the bridges were falling, and I don't know if they're going to save the California bridge for last, but they said it's already been hit. They said San Francisco already got hit with a nasty hurricane or an earthquake, whatever it was at first, maybe sometime in the past. And it's like, California's like, it's something's brewing for California. I feel it. I keep feeling the place moving. Hey, and for me, like I said, there's nowhere to run. Like I said, even running back home, that's another sundown town and a bunch of zombies waiting for me. So with me, sometimes I feel like you just gotta face the storm. I'm not one of those ones. Oh, I grew up here. I'm not going to go nowhere. Like people in Florida, they got them. Like, trust me, I can pick up it. I can leave. I have shoes. I have feet. You know, let's say like I don't even have a plane. I can still run, but it's like, run where? Like, where's your destination? You know, that's my only thing. I don't have a point A to point B. And like I say, even, well, yes, you do. You can go back home, or you can go to. Those are not. They're not safe spots. There's no sense in leaving the frying pan and running to the blender. You know. So I just feel like I'm going to be in trouble anyway, because even if I call myself, I'm just strictly running away from the weather is going to follow me. That happened to me so many times. I call myself, I'm going to leave Illinois. I don't want to be frozen. I'm tired of being frozen. And maybe I'll go to Georgia or I'll go to Vegas, and it's still cold. And you'll think like, what? Even here in California, it still gets cold in California. Hell, I got the heater going now. It might be warm later, but like I say, it gets, you know, so it's like, to me, I just can't really run from my problems, you know, so I have to face them head on, you know, and I'm not stubborn and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be the one that, I can't sink my shoes. I'm not, come on, I'm not one of those idiots. Yeah, I'm not arrogant. Whatever. Nice. Yeah, I'm not arrogant at all. It's just for me, it'll be more familiar faces, like I say. So go back home around family who's all brain dead, and it's like, if I can't wake up, you know what I'm saying? There's no sense in me going back home just to wipe my family out, in so many words, because they don't know how to comply, or they don't listen, or they're brain dead, you know. So there's a reason why I left, and I'm gonna keep it that way, you know. So here, only thing I have to worry about here is earthquakes, zombies, drugs, and migrants. So, oh, sounds easy, huh? Yeah, so, but pretty much America, other countries got it coming too, because they got what's coming to them too. They're catching their hell. They got their locusts. I don't know if that was somewhere out in what was that, Dubai? It was somewhere, one of those Middle Eastern countries. I mean, they had locusts everywhere. I don't know if those are roaches. They probably just called them locusts, but I mean, they were everywhere. People couldn't even walk around. They had to sit there like, you know, they were freaking out because they were just like everywhere. Can't even move. Y'all know these roach-looking locusts running around. That probably came from somebody's luggage though. But and trust me, everyone's getting hit. And again, whether it's an inside job or an outside job, it's still coming for your ass, you know. So. And honestly, too, there is a hand in everything. So it's kind of like, okay, well, even if it looks like, oh, hey, it looks like an inside job, but it's like, there's authority given. You see what I'm saying? We have to understand that too. Everything happens under authority, you know. Now, we may not have authority because we're reckless. Oh, but there is authority. There are higher powers. You see what I'm saying? There's somebody pulling the strings of your president. Somebody's pulling the strings of them. And then somebody's even pulling the strings of these demons. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we need to understand. Demons will turn on themselves for crossing me, for instance. Let's just say, for instance, a whole town or whatever, they rise up against me. And if they're in violation for doing that, then a whole city and town is going to rise up. These are things that I have actually seen, you know. If it's something where there needs to be balance or something needs to be done, somebody gets in the way, or they will be taken out the way. I've seen this literally in my stay in California, actually. I want to say I've seen more justice here in California than I'm thinking like, wow, if I get wronged or slighted, then you better believe it's going to swing back around. And almost immediately, too, to where I can witness, like, wow, because you'll think like, okay, ooh, now I'm ready to strangle it. Somebody else would come around and punch me in the face for something completely, totally different. Had nothing to do with me making a phone call, or nothing with me saying, hey, help, you know, or they're bothering me, you know. But things work out such an interesting way, because with the energy, everything's based off energy as well, because your energies too will determine your fate. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm really big on energy. Like, if you come around me with that strange act, I don't know, it's just something about certain people and vibes, and I'm just But yeah, I think we really need to understand and brace yourselves for the worst too. And this explains why people were heading for those bunkers. You're heading for those bunkers because you know there's a sweep coming through. So then when the sweep comes through, you don't think it's going to pull those bunkers up. If it's pulling up ancient trees that's been buried in that ground for centuries and thousands of years, and even if it's a tree, even if it's like pieces of stone, like all of that concrete, pretty much anything, all of that's coming up. You don't think those bunkers are going to get swallowed up too? If, let's just say, like, okay, the bunker might not float to the top, but it will get swallowed too. That happens too. Do you know how many times the earth has opened up and just literally swallowed entire highways? And yeah, I was like, wow, now I didn't see it in person. I only seen this like literally like on videos where people, they'll report a mudslide, or they will report basically some kind of strange activity, or they're probably not even reporting, just picked up on their dash cam, and then the whole, like, literally, it just, everything dropped. I don't know if they call that a sinkhole, or if it just opened up, or if it just dropped. Literally, an entire highway just dropped, to where you couldn't see the bottom of where it dropped, you know, so it was just like, wow, it wasn't like, okay, it just fell in this little pit. No. It's like, wow, you got to keep your distance, because you don't know where this stuff is just going to start dropping, you know. That's what you need to watch out for, too. People underestimate the earth. The planet Earth, like whatever we're stomping on and we're disrespecting, we're not respecting the earth, you know. And everything is a living thing, and all living things can feel. We don't understand that either. Even with the trees, you don't understand, the trees can hear your ass and they can feel you. You see what I'm saying? But we just, oh, well, I need a pencil. Let me cut the, you know, so it's like we're disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we can argue, well, it had nothing to do with slavery, but if we're all reckless in our own way. We probably failed our children, and like I say, we tamper with the earth. We're disrespectful to nature. It's like our balance throws off the earth too. You see what I'm saying? Because the earth has to accommodate us, these ungrateful humans. And you don't think the earth's gonna throw up looking at y'all? I'm throwing up looking at you, and I'm amongst these filthy humans. You see what I'm saying? So I'm literally looking from physical eyes. Physical eyes can't hear or see what's really going on. You see what I'm saying? Me looking through my physical eyes, they can't really see what I'm gonna lie to myself and tell me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. But even in my physical eyes, that doesn't really see or hear or what's really going on. Even I am disgusted. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm disgusted and I'm ready to see red, and I'm ready to flip this place upside down, then, you know, imagine what's going on in the spiritual realm. And like I say, most people are guilty. You are guilty of the state of the world and the state of America. So that's why everybody's gonna have hell to pay. And I promise you, those tears are not gonna mean anything. They're not. I don't want to sound insensitive, but it's kind of like one of those things. Well, you won't get it until it happens to you. You won't believe it until it happens to you. And I've seen this all. That's literally my motto. People don't listen to me until it's too late. But then you think you're gonna come to me for help, though. That's the cardinal sin right there. Not that you didn't listen, but then you had the nerve to turn to me for salvation. That is a cardinal sin. And this is what's going on with the world. Now I can watch you suffer all day and tell you, well, you should have had a job. You should have paid your rent. You know, I'll let you have it. That's because you didn't go to Yale. You see what I'm saying? I can let you have it and tell you it and do the science and give you the breakdown as to why you haven't made it in life, or why you made terrible choices in life. But again, when it happens to me for natural or unnatural causes, once I cry and want the news to tell what happened to me, then that's a cardinal sin. You see what I'm saying? Because where were those tears for people who actually needed the help? You see what I'm saying? We're living in the world where people will step over you. They will hit you in the head and it won't help you. You see what I'm saying? They will harm you and not help you. They will do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you're living in a world like this where people are reckless, don't give a damn about their neighbor, to hell with the youth, you got the guy versus gal going on, and then you don't think that your ass is going to be on the hit list. You see what I'm saying? For some reason, we are playing the victim. And I don't know if it's an American thing or even the whole world. Oh, help us. Well, they should really the whole world. Everybody wants to scream, help us, but nobody want to say help them. You see what I'm saying? Help them. And I'm not saying some people don't help. It's just not enough people. Probably only a handful of people like me, and I'm being very generous when I say a handful. The people who actually get mistaken for the Messiah, I haven't met any of them, but I'm not going to be selfish and say it's just me. So that's why there's hell to pay. Not enough good people around here. I only see demons, I promise you, I do. With or without my glasses on. I don't see any messiahs around here. Hell, probably half of them are probably already dead, really. Probably dead because they got taken out in the streets, or dead because they got taken out by their parents. And that's i.e. through getting them removed from your womb. Because even, here's another thing too, and it's slightly off topic, but I was just thinking about this yesterday too. If you get any of the men who call themselves, I'm strictly for Kamala, or I'm blue, and they're not necessarily saying that they're blue because they grew up brainwashed. They're blue because they're agreeing with the whole, women deserve their women's rights. Any man who agrees with women's right, which only, that's a polite way of saying abortion, that just means you don't want to be bothered with your children. Any man that's stomping for a woman to get an abortion, that just means she must be pregnant with your baby that you're trying to hide because maybe you're gay or pregnant or married or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I think Usher was one. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but yeah, I can see when you end up on the talk show, oh, you got to choose a side. I'm all for Kamala, in the women's rights. So you want to, what does, now let me shut up because I'm slightly off topic. And we wonder, why me, Lord? Why? That's why I'm kind of, if you go back to my previous videos, people probably think, oh, wow, you used to sound crazy. Wow, how could you say that? How can you say you're going to stomp my hand if I end up in a pit and I reach to you for salvation? Because you dug yourself in that pit. A lot of times, too, we don't want to wake up and smell it. Like I say, we won't get it until it's too late. You won't know that you set yourself up for failure until you you reach and lift your hand to me. You see what I'm saying? This is the problem with the world. Nothing matters. It's only the world evolves around you. Everything's fine longer than it happened to you. When it happens to you, then you want, hey, cameraman. And the other time you say no pictures, no comments. When it happens to you, cameraman, help us. Can you tell FEMA to help me? Or then you want me to tell Biden that you need help? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem with the world. We can't count on no damn body. Hell, getting in trouble now, your ass is going to be in trouble. Can't call the police. Can't call the fire department. You already know FEMA's lying. They changed their number already. You can't call, you see what I'm saying? You can't call the places who set up there that's supposed to say, okay, hey, I'm here to help. Please, that's for show. Everybody's fake and everybody's in on it. And everybody's going to have hell to pay. Just because no one's innocent. And again, we can argue, oh, well, I didn't have anything to do with slavery. I didn't participate with slavery. Okay, well, guess what? Let's just say it's all true. Nobody participated with slavery. Hell, we didn't even know about it because they already taken it out of history. But guess what? Somebody's benefiting from slavery. Somebody's hiding it. Somebody's still keeping it alive. I.e. the prison and the works. If you're in prison or if you're at work, you are participating with slavery. Okay, and then also, somebody's, it's like we're disconnected from reality. We're disconnected from nature. We're disconnected from the truth. You see what I'm saying? We are so far off balance and so far to the left. Things have gone so far left. It's like the only thing to do now is to start cracking skulls because it's just everything's a hot mess. It's almost like to the point of no return. And if it's not to the point of no return, then y'all might want to snap out of that delusion that you're in and do something different. If everybody's going crazy and going wild, start doing something different. Start cleaning up the mess, or try to stop the madness. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody even stopping the madness? Or are they saying, oh, let them live? You see what I'm saying? It's the open recklessness for me. Okay? Because I'm not saying that everyone's not guilty of being reckless. Okay, maybe we are guilty of it. Whatever happened to being reckless quietly or doing stuff in the dark? Everybody's so out in the open. Everybody's so queer. Everything is just, I'm telling you, the balance is off. And mind you, I'm looking from physical eyes that don't really see and don't really hear what's going on. And even me seeing through some blinders, or even me seeing with one eye. But what I see ain't good, So, therefore, when shit comes around for cleanup, if you will, then it's like no one should be surprised because no one's cleaning up this mess. I guess if I can make that short and sweet. If those are wondering why is this happening to America, or what's going on with the world? Okay, because nobody's cleaning this shit up. That's why. Everybody got issues, and everybody's okay with the chaos. So that's what you're going to get. You see what I'm saying? If everyone's okay with not knowing where their children are, then that's going to play a huge role in your future, you and your future. So it's just one of those things where people will set themselves up and really think that everything's sweet out here. And I'm just like, good. If you don't see that, that's going to be a hell of a fall. Yeah, so I thought I'd clean that part up. Like, what the hell's going on and what to expect. I guess you can only expect for shit to get swept away, if you will. It doesn't necessarily have to be through water. It could just be through rubble. Shake the place until everything comes crashing down, and then somebody sweep this shit up. Or you can do another sweep like how they're going to do in Florida. Clean up Florida, clean up North Carolina, clean up Georgia. And other states too. And even going up through New York too. That whole coastal line, you know. I want to say they said it might have stopped at Virginia or something like that, but it can go abroad. Even with, like, you know, with the Midwest, even with Illinois, like I say, they said that's known for having Indian burial grounds. I remember seeing the hills and this stuff, and I remember seeing all these. Maybe that's what all those abandoned buildings are for. Maybe that was was that a mass gentrification, or was that a massacre? You know, so what was it? Because you could tell, like, everything is still booming. You could tell, like, if you literally just look at these cities in Illinois, like, well, particularly like Peoria, Illinois, like if you look at downtown, everything looks nice, even though they're older buildings, they're old historic building, but it's like it's still in one piece. Then if you go to Burtonville, Illinois, everything appeared to still be, but it's like everything's a ghost town. So I don't know if it's from, I don't want to say all of Illinois, because Chicago doesn't give me ghost town, but there's definitely some kind of hidden history. But for sure, Illinois gives me because it's like, it gives me like cows, it gives countryside, but it's not really that. It just, the life has been sucked out of it. And I'm not saying that you don't have any life because you're not part of the city living or got the city lights or the, you know, city noise or the buildings, but it's like, it's something missing, something that's been removed from the state. And hell, could have been a bunch of black people. All those bodies. Maybe that's what those hills are that you call a mountain. Yeah, a mountain of bodies. Yeah, so there's a lot of hidden history, and like I say, you won't know until you get a disaster like these. Like I say, that's pulling up these train tracks, that are pulling up these, I guess, in baseball stadiums. I don't know if that was in North Carolina or what else out there. But basically those, wherever the Buccaneers are, those baseball stadiums, they have hidden history too. It's like, because a lot of those are buried, they're built on top of burial grounds. You see these railroads, some of those have been dug up to bury some of the people of Tulsa, you know, because if they do construction and you go to dig up, okay, hey, we're going to dig up this building, or we're going to dig up this plot to you know, to make a grocery store or whatever, and you're digging it up, and then you got all the bodies from the 60s, or you got all the bodies from the last plane crash, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of strange activity that's being found with these disasters. So it might be a disaster for you, but it's going to be justice for me, because those are those bodies that I've been talking about that you get from up under these damn cities. You got bodies up under these cities, and if you don't know who is who, or which city those are, whichever one that's getting ripped to shreds, whichever one that's literally being rooted from the bottom, and you won't, again, you're not going to find these bodies, or you're not going to learn these things until it's time for cleanup. Whoa, these bodies are wrapped in, these bodies haven't been drowned, they've been here, yeah, under these cities. You see, there's a lot of hidden and nasty history here in these countries, cities, and towns, and we have the nerve to cry and clutch our, God bless America? No. God bless the debris. God bless the rubble. And I hope you survive when they go to dig it up. You see what I'm saying? No, God bless no damn America. No. All this hidden history and this shit that they're lying and covering up, killing you now so you won't learn about it. Erasing you from history as we speak. And you want to talk from God bless him. Then here's another thing. I've noticed a lot of Negroes talking about, we got to come together. And not saying come together as far as the Negroes come together as far as holding hands with everybody else. And I don't want to say that it'll be healthy to say, okay, us versus them. That's what it is in reality, though. We want everything to be equal. We want justice. That's what we want. The world don't want that for you. You see what I'm saying? The world don't want to kumbaya with you. Otherwise, they would have been doing it. They're not going to wait for no tragedy. Want you to drown so they can use your shoulder while you're drowning. Nobody's coming to save you. And they even did a whole side-by-side when it comes to the Katrina. They showed how many niggas died. Because to them, snuff films are celebrations. Well, they don't show their bodies on the news. They're not. It's the bystanders that got to show their bodies. Like, if the only thing they're showing that we're helping, we're trying to help, but y'all keep slashing our tires when we go in there and try to help. Like, no, they're slashing their own tires because they're not really there to help you. Come on now. You're not allowed to go near FEMA trucks, like if you a government truck, to tear it up unless you're going through like a stampede. If they said their tires got slashed, it's because they did that. When they come, remember when I say when FEMA come in, they're coming in. They don't want people to come in after them. So if they're making it seem like, oh, we're getting attacked for trying to help you, or we're getting attacked because people are telling them the truth about us on social media, no, they're not. Those are government agencies. They're not a fool. They know how to move in tragedy. That's why they tell you don't come in there, because they're coming in to pillage or to finish your ass off. Because notice how now it's you can't go in or out. So why can I come in or out if this is the help? Or if here there goes he got the helicopter or he got a ladder, why would we be at penalty for trying to get in or out? Because once FEMA has arrived, they're obviously not there to help you. I can't keep explaining it to people that don't get it. You call FEMA and you figure out how they work. Get yourself in a pickle and call them. They'll show you. Better they can tell you. Better than I can tell you. So, yeah. Frankly, too, it's not really the storms that you have to worry about. Even the food shortages, unfortunately, it's not. It's really not these disasters that you have to worry about. It's the people at the end of the day. Because if we're having a great day, a terrible day, if we're at hell, if we're at Disneyland, if we're at heaven, wherever we are, the people are going to determine the energy. You see what I'm saying? Hell is not hell without people. Heaven is not heaven. Well, I guess heaven is still pretty empty, but you don't need people to be in heaven. I'm just saying, no matter where we are, that's going to determine the environment. We can be at Disneyland, or we can be in LA. You see what I'm saying? And the people are going to determine what the hell happens in these places. You see what I'm saying? You'll think, hey, this is a place of a good time. How many times do you go somewhere to have a good time and the people mess? For instance, church. We're here to go to church, here to praise Pink Jesus. And then now, more than once, do we get shot and murdered at church? How many times has that happened? Not because the Lord dropped his gun and it accidentally went off. No, because people come in, change the environment, and decide, hey, I think I'm going to shoot everybody in the church. And it happened more than once. Even at school, you're at school, you thought you were here to learn about Columbus, or thought you were here to be misinformed and miseducated. No, you actually came here to be shot by the school shooter. I don't even have enough hands to count. You see what I'm saying? So it's the people. It's not the tragedies you got to worry about. It's the people. Because before or after the tragedy, it's the people that are going to be your problem. Before the tragedy, they're your problem. After the tragedy, they're going to be your problem. It's the people. It is the people. That's who you got to watch out for. That's who you have to prepare for. And that's who's going to be bringing you hell to pay. Hell, that's who's killing you right now. It's the people. Who the hell you think is pushing the button on the, whatever this chemtrail button is? It's the people. Who's building these, well, I guess you call them demons, in a people's body, but people/demons. Who is building these fake moons and fake suns? The people/demons. Who's pulling all the nutrients out of your food? No, I just call them demons. These are not people. They're not. I'm just saying people because that's what we see them as. Oh, those are people. Those are demons. They're all demons. So, but at the end of the day, though, that's going to be your problem. The people. Who's going to trample you for the last potato? The people. Who's looting? That's another thing too. I don't want to say it was a live looting, but it was pretty much it was a bunch of idiots. I don't even know where this was, but they were trying to get into the 7-Eleven, and there was one worker trying to hold the 7-Eleven closed with like a broom. You know how to do the broomstick and we hold it. But I'm like, okay, once they got that door open, it was a wrap. So he must have knew they were already up to no good. Most of them were masked. Some of them had their faces out, but once they got in, I mean, they ramshacked the place, and the door wasn't really locked. He was just closing it like, hey, I already see what y'all are up to. It's a lot of y'all appear to have weapons, or you appear to have, from what I can see, most of them did have masks on, but it just looked, so this one guy at the 7-Eleven, you try to keep the door closed, but once that door swung open and they got in there, man, they were able to take whatever they wanted to take. And I'm just like, giggly, and stuff like that, that's going to be your demise too, because if you call yourself needing these grocery stores for your food, clothes, waters, and then already got ramshacked by looters or migrants, whoever you want to call them, then it's like, there goes your food supply, and there goes another problem for your ass. You see what I'm saying? This is why I always stress, if you're going to be anywhere, the less people, the better, you know? That's going to make your chances higher of survival. You would think like, oh, well, if you're by yourself, wouldn't you be a target? Oh, yeah, you would. But if you're around a bunch of people, And you're going to be a target any damn way because you ain't going to last long because the people are going to F it up before you can even get there. You know, all you need is one or two people that are rotten in the whole group. And it's going to mess it up for the entire world. You see what I'm saying? The entire world have to prepay now because one or two people thought they'd speed off, probably only put $2 worth of gas in there, but then going to speed off. You know? So it's the people. That's why they're saying now, oh, somebody slashed my tire. That's why we can't help people. They're blaming the people. And people can't even go around FEMA. You'll get shot trying to go around FEMA, and FEMA's not going to come around you unless they're pillaging you. Unless they're coming there to find what they're looking for, they're not coming to save you. Nobody has a testimonial. Go to the FEMA.com or FEMA.org and look for testimonials. Oh my God, FEMA helped save me out of a tree. Nobody has testimonials. Everybody who's reporting on FEMA, they're saying, hey, there go the FEMA trucks right there just sitting there. And then there go the FEMA helicopter blocking the runway to make sure other people don't come in. They do not help people. And I was not saying that when I said that. I've said this a million times. If FEMA's coming in, they're coming to finish you. Or to finish pillaging you. They're not coming, we got 2 more on the tree. That's why they'll tell you, okay, you stand back while we finish. Most people, let me shut up. Because again, like I said, you'll learn. If you have a run-in with FEMA, you'll learn better than I can tell you. That's all I can say. So, yeah, it's the unfinished business for me. The unfinished business, and then everyone I just want to trot around like everything's fine. You want to turn a blind eye, or that was the past. Okay, well, you are the future, so you're going to pay for the past. That's basically how that's going to work. That's how that's going to work. Because clearly no one's going to clean up the mess. Nobody's doing the right thing. They're not. That's why shit is tacky. Shit is tacky because nobody's doing their part. And if there are, it's only 2 or 3 people. Like I say, just me and a pigeon in a dirty sock that's working around here. That's not a good look. You see what I'm saying? And there's not enough people making a damn. Too many people are comfortable with the environment. That's why it's getting out of control. And that's why there will be hell to pay. And like I say, if that's the fate that people choose, I'm not going to sit and talk about it. And I'm damn sure not going to be helping people during the storm. No, I'm not. When it's time, when it's said for the reason, when it's time for someone to reap their justice, you get your ass out the way. You trying to save them out of the pit of hell. And then now your dumb ass is in hell. You see what I'm saying? No. Unless your ass want to join them, get your ass out the way. That's how that's going to work. And that's pretty much how I operate. Unless your ass want to join them, because by who you're in bed with, that chooses your side. Okay, if you want to join them, okay, well then, now you have reached, you chose death. Because I promise you, when shit hits the fan, nobody's coming to save. I don't want to be the one to say that it's going to be too late for you to see, but I mean, if it is, then it is what it is. But to those who have eyes and ears to hear, I guess receive the message and understand that no one is safe and no one is exempt. Because again, if there's hell to pay, we will all be affected one way, shape, or form. But when it comes to getting caught in the crossfire, you have to know how to move, what to look out for, and then who to watch out for. Because again, back to when I said, with the people going to be your problem. You can have your militia and you can have your crew, but it's like, you have to be able to weather the storm, though. Everything's fine. Like, okay, well, we survived the flood. Okay, but what about with the whole, when the beast comes? When you got all this rubble around and you're looking around for food, water, and clothes and all that. And then this savior comes that has food, clothes, water, and all that. And all you got to do is come for him to have all these. You see what I'm saying? Are you going to buckle? And that's what you need to put yourself in a real pickle. Now, I'm not saying just think about it or practice. No, in a real pickle. This is life or death. What are you willing to do to survive? That's going to speak volumes. And that's why I say this is not a game. You know, be careful as to who the hell you're around. And so, yeah. So I guess I've already braced myself as far as for the hell to pay, and then as far as whatever may happen. Because honestly, I mean, we are disposable anyway, just because we're in a human body. Every day we deteriorate, and we can only deteriorate faster these days since we have all of the elements used against us, you know. So with us being poisoned, with us having toxic lifestyles, being in toxic environments, not being one with life skills or survival skills, or even one with the trees. We're not, like remember I said, we're not even one with nature. With us being disconnected from nature, disconnected from reality, and then disconnected from the real picture, it's like that's taking away from our ways of life. So if our ways of life are being tampered with, meaning our numbers are being tampered with, our youth are being, you see what I'm saying? With all of those things, it's going to play a role in our life cycle, so to speak. So basically, that's a polite way of saying that we're committing suicide. We're politely killing ourselves through giving up on our youth, through giving up on our men, women, and children, through giving up on ourselves. And then, and again, we're not one with nature. Like, okay, so if all is great, where's our food, water, and clothes coming from, other than from Walmart? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we've lost grip of our skills. We've lost ourselves, and now we must find it. Now that we know that we lost our marbles, let's look around and find them and pull ourselves together, because we don't want to be caught in this bubble or in this funk or under this spell, because it's not healthy. We're not going to get anywhere in this environment. So that's probably why most of the stuff is getting blown to hell, but it's a part of a cycle, though. So if everything crashes around you, that's fine too, because everything can be replaced. Now, you cannot be replaced. Once you're out of here, you're out of here. So if you have to lose everything and not have anything, but you can say that you're alive, you're actually doing really great. So we have to understand that as well. So with that being said, I hope all are well, hope all are safe. Hopefully you're repairing as best you can, staying out the way, keeping your eyes and ears open, staying sober and vigilant too, because I'm telling you, you do not want to be slumped over high or brain dead at a time such as this, because things happen so quickly. Then you got to be able to determine, is that real? What is that? Who is that? You have to be on your toes. Be well, be safe.